What if I told you that Michael Jordan once destroyed a player's career over something that never even happened? Not a rival, not an enemy, just a guy who scored 37 points on him and paid the ultimate price for it. Today, 5 NBA players who admitted they were terrified of Michael Jordan. And number 1 will make you question everything you thought you knew about the GOAT. Quick, drop a dude in the comments right now if you think Jordan is the greatest ever. I'm reading every single comment, so let me know what you think. Loathe him or hate him, Michael Jordan didn't just beat you. He broke you mentally, physically, emotionally. Players didn't just fear losing to Jordan, they feared playing against him.
His eyes are bloodshot red.
I swear to God, he had the orange joint.
He still put up 40.
How was it like playing against MJ your rookie year?
Shaking in my boots.
And I was terrified being out there with Michael Jordan the first time.
Hall of Famers have admitted it. Superstars have confessed it. Even his own teammates weren't safe. These are 5 stories that prove Michael Jordan was the most terrifying man in basketball history. Counting down from 5 to 1, let's get into it. Number 5. An entire team was so scared of one man that they had to invent special rules just to hurt him. The Detroit Pistons, better known as the Bad Boys, were the most physical, brutal team in NBA history in the late 1980s. Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman, these guys were enforcers. They beat people up on the court. That was their identity, but Michael Jordan, they couldn't beat him straight up. So head coach Chuck Daly created something called the Jordan Rules, a defensive strategy with one purpose: punish Jordan every time he touches the ball. Hard fouls, elbows, body checks. If Jordan goes left, knock him into the 3rd row. If he drives, make him pay with his body. Let that sink in. An entire organization, coaches, players, management, sat in a room and said, "We cannot stop this man with basketball, so we're going to hurt him." Did it work? For a while, yes. The Pistons eliminated the Bulls 3 years in a row. But here's what's terrifying. Jordan didn't back down. He came back every single year. He took every elbow, every cheap shot, every hard foul, and he kept coming until 1991, when he finally broke through and swept the Pistons right out of the playoffs. And you know what the Pistons did? They walked off the court before the game was even over. They didn't even shake hands. Because when Jordan finally conquered them, they had nothing left. The fear turned into defeat. Number 4. A rookie thought he could trash talk Michael Jordan. He was wrong 1987 preseason. Reggie Miller, fresh out of UCLA, first year in the league, is playing against Jordan for the first time. And Miller is talking nonstop. At halftime, Miller has 10 points. Jordan has 4. And Miller lets him hear about it. "I'm doing all this talking," Miller later recalled. "I've got 10, he's got 4. I'm feeling myself." Big mistake. Enormous mistake. Jordan came out in the second half and scored 40 points. 40. In one half, he finished with 44. Miller finished with 10. The same 10 he had at halftime. He didn't score another point the entire game. And after the game, Jordan walked up to Miller and said 6 words that would define their entire relationship. "You sure? Be careful. You never talk to Black Jesus like that." Black Jesus, that's what Jordan called himself. And you know what's crazy? Miller later admitted he never trash-talked Jordan again. Not once. He learned his lesson in one game. That's what made Jordan terrifying. It wasn't just that he would beat you. It's that he would remind you he beat you. He would make sure you knew your place. And if you forgot, he would drop 40 on you in a single half just to prove a point. Before we get to the top 3, if you're new here, welcome to Court Kings. This is where basketball greatness lives. We drop weekly top 5 videos about the most legendary players and moments in NBA history. Hit subscribe right now, because the next video is going to be even crazier. Trust me now, back to the countdown. Because number 3, he punched his own teammate. Number 3, Michael Jordan punched his own teammate in the face during practice .1995 training camp. The Bulls are scrimmaging. Jordan is going hard. harder than
You're on
anyone.
opposite sides
That's
of
how he
scrimmage.
He is
practiced.
going to come back to practice on Thursday. He's been fined. He will not be suspended. I expect him to play Friday in our last preseason game and on opening night. We have spent the last week.
Every possession was Game 7 of the finals to him. And Steve Kerr, a 6'3" guard, one of the smallest guys on the team, starts talking back to Jordan. Jordan had been trash-talking, trying to intimidate Kerr, like he did with everyone. But Kerr didn't back down. He jawed back. And Jordan, the most competitive man on the planet, snapped. He punched Steve Kerr in the face. Right there in practice. Now here's where it gets wild. Steve Kerr, the same guy who got punched, later said this: "It helped our relationship." Helped. He said getting punched in the face by Michael Jordan helped their relationship. That's how powerful Jordan's presence was. His own teammates accepted being punched in the face as part of the experience. They normalized it because winning with Jordan meant surviving Jordan, and everyone in that locker room knew it. Jordan later said he felt like an idiot. He knew he had to be more respectful, but the damage was already done. The message was clear. Nobody is safe. Not opponents, not rivals, not even your own teammates. Number 2. Michael Jordan destroyed a 19-year-old kid's career before it even began 2001. Michael Jordan is part owner and president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. He makes Kwame Brown the first overall pick in the NBA draft, the first high school player ever taken number 1 overall, a 19-year-old kid straight out of high school, drafted by his idol. But Jordan the executive was just as ruthless as Jordan the player. During practices, Jordan verbally destroyed Brown. Constantly. Relentlessly. Multiple reports describe Jordan bringing the teenager to tears during practice with brutal personal attacks. Not just about his game, but about who he was as a person. Now, Brown himself has since disputed some of these details. He said he never cried. He called the stories misinformation. But here's what nobody disputes. Jordan's treatment was so severe, so relentless, that it's widely credited with shattering Brown's confidence permanently. The number 1 pick in the draft, a kid with Hall of Fame potential, was never the same. He played 12 seasons in the NBA, but he never became the star everyone expected. That's the terrifying part. Jordan didn't just intimidate opponents. He could break the people around him. Even a 19-year-old kid who looked up to him. Even the number 1 pick in the draft. Jordan's intensity didn't have an off switch. And Kwame Brown is the living proof. Number 1. And this is the most terrifying story of all. Michael Jordan once destroyed a man's career over something that never happened. March 19, 1993. The Chicago Bulls play the Washington Bullets. LaBradford Smith, a role player, not a star, just a guy, goes off. He scores 37 points against Michael Jordan, 37, against the greatest defender of his era. It was the game of his life. After the game, Jordan claimed that Smith walked by him and said 2 words, "Nice game, Mike." Jordan used those 2 words as fuel. He told his teammates, "Nobody says nice game to Michael Jordan." The very next night, the second game of a back-to-back, Jordan came out like a man possessed. He made his first 8 shots. He scored 36 points in the first half. He had 47 after 3 quarters. He scored 25 points in the first quarter alone, matching Smith's entire game total from the night before. LaBradford Smith, he scored 4 points, from 37 to 4, in 24 hours. But here's the part that will give you chills. Years later, Michael Jordan admitted the truth. LaBradford Smith never said, "Nice game, Mike." Jordan made it up. He fabricated the entire thing. He invented a slight that didn't exist and used it as an excuse to destroy a man. Let that sink in. Jordan didn't just need a reason to dominate. He needed a reason to be ruthless. And if nobody gave him one, he created one. LaBradford Smith didn't do anything wrong. He just had a great game. And Jordan decided that was enough to end him. That's not competitiveness. That's something darker. That's a man who needed enemies and would create them if he had to. So, there you have it. 5 stories that prove Michael Jordan wasn't just the greatest basketball player of all time. He was the most terrifying. Here's my question for you. And I want to hear from everyone in the comments. Was Jordan's intensity a gift or a curse? Did it make him the GOAT, or did it cost him relationships, careers, and maybe even his humanity? I'm pinning my answer at the top of the comments. Go read it and tell me if you agree or disagree. And if you think someone else was more terrifying than Jordan, name them. I read every comment. This is Court Kings, where basketball greatness lives. Subscribe for next week's video. And remember, the king isn't just crowned, he's feared. Peace. Phone.